So here we are. We are streaming slash recording some standard Pauper. Looks we're playing against Naya, one of the youth players here on the island. Uh, what is the title? Thought I did change the title. How do I update information? There we go. Okay. I'm gonna keep this hand. It's a little sketchy, but we're on the draw. We have a one drop. We have stuff to do with our mana. He mulliganed, so this should be good. Oh man, he's mulliganing a lot. How unlucky. So we're playing mono white aggro right now. This is a deck that Travis Wu actually made. Um, this deck is almost all Amonkhet cards in the main deck, so not much diversity here in the main deck. But this deck is just so solid. This archetype won the youth standard Pauper championship that we ran. Not this deck exactly, but this archetype. So it's just really, really good. Okay, so we missed on our land, but I think we're still going to be doing okay. Even if he kills this Sacred Cat, like, we can just embalm it. Sacred Cat is just an all-star in this format. Alright, we're up to 5 viewers. Who do we got in the viewership here? I know we got Dane. Good guy Dane. Ooh, okay. We'll take it. Alright. Yeah, if he's stuck on mana, he just drew Short Sword, so this is probably not going to be too much of a game, unfortunately. But he's playing the blue-red Artificers deck. We did a deck tech on that. Put that in the chat here. So that is a deck tech of the deck that Naya is playing. He might have made some tweaks from my version. Oh, okay. Let's see if he can get on the board here. So he might have made some tweaks from my version, which is in that YouTube deck tech. I guess I can do a text version as well here. But, oh man, no 2-drop for him. Okay. Ooh. That was very lucky. So unfortunately, a bunch of games in Standard Pauper kind of just come down to one player not playing lands. But I feel like that happens in other formats of Magic too. So. Oh no. Alright, he has the Lightning Strike. Unfortunately, he only traded for half of Sacred Cat. Well, and I guess he got a mana off of Honkopesh, so he's mana neutral, but he's down half a card. Alright. Ooh. Okay, I don't know if I want to open myself up to him getting some card advantage on me here, so we're just going to equip and bash. Oh, okay, he has the other Lightning Strike. Good thing we didn't play the Cartouche. Okay, so what we're going to do here is just embalm the Sacred Cat. And then, I guess while he's tapped out, we'll Cartouche it up. Alright, so I don't know who all is in the chat here, but if you're unfamiliar with the project that I've been working on, we've been playing Youth Standard Pauper over here on Oahu. Been giving away some scholarship money as well, and it's a really interesting format. It's really accessible for the kids. The decks are super cheap, and you know there's a lot of play to the format, so it's really fun. Thanks for stopping by to check it out. Hope you guys are enjoying it. I know this is not much of a game here, but I've got until 8:30, so hopefully we'll get some good games to show off. Oh no. Okay. Slight internet hiccup, but we're back on track here. Okay. Thank you for your patience. Let's see if Naya is still here. So Naya, he is going to be starting 9th grade over at Kamehameha schools. He won our summer draft a few weeks ago. And he did not come in top 8 of the scholarship tournament, but he has won other standard pauper tournaments in the past. Oh, is that happening again? No, okay. Oh, and I think I'm clicking through my main phase here. Okay, so we're not using our mana this turn. Should be fine, though. Alright, yeah, so Naya is one of the more dedicated players that we have here on the island. Ooh, nice. Good thing we've got this compulsory rest ready. Actually, might be better to just get the flyer into play, because that'll let us use all our mana. Yeah, that guy is huge. Because if we play the compulsory rest, we can attack for 3, 4, 5. No, just 4. 3, 3, 4, yeah. And then if he has like another creature, like if his last card is Bastion Inventor, I think I'd rather have the Tall Crop Elite in play. So I'm just going to play the Tall Crop Elite. And we kind of have a bunch to do with our mana in the next couple turns, so I'm going to play the Desert. We might regret that later. So the standard Pauper metagame has been pretty interesting. The youth tournament that we had, or the scholarship tournament that we had back in May, we saw a lot of mono white. We saw mono red and mono white came in first and second place. We had a Grixis Artificers deck make top 4, and we had a black red Pirates deck make top 4. Okay, he's bashing me. We're just gonna take it. We can race him with the lifelink creature. And so like the format up to May was pretty much mostly aggro decks. But now that Salvager of Secrets has been printed in M19, we've seen the emergence of... no, I wish I didn't cycle that. We've seen the emergence of some... some control decks. So, you know, I kind of want to give Naya some practice against this deck here. Since this is kind of like the current tier 1 deck. And then, you know, after we get a couple games in with this deck, I'm going to try and bring out blue-black control and see what he thinks of that. Oh, no, he has the Metallic Rebuke. Okay. Nice. Yeah. Well, I mean, even if we didn't equip first, we still would have gotten Metallic Rebuked. But it's always good to keep an eye out. This deck with 1 blue mana. Alright. So we're just going to bash here. Get in for 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're winning this race. Especially, even if we didn't have this compulsory arrest in our hand, we'd be winning this race. Good old Sacred Cat. Too good in these aggro mirrors. Oh yeah, I guess. If we didn't equip first, then we could have rested his guy. But I think like getting in more damage with our lifelinker is possibly more important than resting his guy. Because even if he does attack us back here, we're still winning the race. So, yeah, I did close myself off to that line of using compulsory rest. But I think even if I did have that line available to me, I would have still wanted to equip the Hone Kopesh to get more damage in. Ooh, okay. He's putting up a defense in the air. He's probably going to move at least the goggles and maybe a short sword as well. Yeah, in a long game, these equipments, they do a lot. They really pull their weight really well. So let's see. If he moves the goggles... Yeah. He might move the sword too. I guess it's a 2-4, so I would need to move both Kopeshes over to attack through this. I think he has to move at least one short sword, because then I can't attack unless I exert. But I think I'm just going to throw the compulsory arrest on the swooper. Oh, is he going to attack first? And then move the short sword? No, he's not attacking. He doesn't want to move the short sword either. Okay. Let's see what we draw here. Oh. Okay, so we're just going to do this. And We're just gonna bash him in the air. And then, let's see, this hits him down to, I guess if I compulsory rested the Brawler, then Elite can still attack through Aether Swooper. And then, no, I couldn't have attacked with the cat as well, because the cat would just get blocked with this. Yeah, so I think I like doing it better this way. Oh, looks like he drew something spicy. Oh man, Bastion Inventor? Okay, now if he plays Bastion Inventor, then I'm really happy that I rested the Aether Swooper and not the Sweatworks Brawler. Yeah, because this Bastion Inventor is huge. I think he has to attack with Sweatworks Brawler here. Okay. Oh, if he attacks, then he dies? Oh yeah, because I can exert, and then the extra damage will get him. You're right. I don't think he has any outs to the Elite. I don't think he's playing on Summon, and it's too big for any burn spells to kill it. Yeah, I think his best draw here is like another Aether Swooper to chump block, but that's not going to win him the game, especially not with this Fan Bearer. So I think we got this one. Although, like, what his deck has done on a mulligan to 4 is very impressive. So a mulligan to 4 on the play and still just like do a whole bunch of broken stuff. I think he just plays 4 goggles and 4 short swords. The list that I was playing was just playing those. He could be playing some number of Kopeshes as well, but I don't think the deck wants too many equipments. Like, the equipments are really good, but you don't want to play too many. Alright, so we're going to game 2. So here's the deck list. I'm not sure if I want to sideboard anything. Kind of like the deck just the way it is. Maybe we want to switch out Mighty Leap for Moment of Triumph. Maybe we want to switch out... Oketra's Avenger, like, if he starts making servos, then Oketra's Avenger might be worse than Bishop Soldier. I guess I want Fragmentize, right? Kill his equipment. I don't know what I want to cut, though. This deck is just so solid. Maybe we, like, trim a cartouche? Because, like, punching through on the ground might not happen. Like, Bastion Inventor locks up the ground pretty well. I think Oketra's Avenger might be our worst. Yeah. I think I like Mighty Leap because we might need a big Mighty Leap turn to, like, finish the game if he has the ground locked up with a Bastion Inventor. So I like Mighty Leap over Moment of Triumph here. Ooh, this hand is pretty bad. Yeah, we're definitely going to mulligan this. Okay, this hand is fine. Sacred Cat is just so good. We're going to bottom that. Alright, turn 1 Goggles. That's the best opener for him. Let's see if he can follow it up with an Aether Chaser, an Aether Swooper. Okay, we drew a land, so we'll be able to play our Initiate. Yeah, if he plays a 2-drop Artificer here, like, we're going to be solidly on our back foot. Even with the Khopesh and the Cartouche, we won't be able to attack through either of them wearing an Inventor's Goggles. So, no, he doesn't have it. Ooh. Okay, he might have... I'm going to just attack. I don't want to, like, play the Khopesh and equip it because he might have Lightning Strike. So if he wants to Lightning Strike this, then I want to be able to Embalm it again this turn. Alright, so I just got in for 1. But now I'm going to Fragmentize the Inventor's Goggles. That means he can't play Sweatworks Brawler next turn. And then play the Khopesh. So the last youth tournament that we had just had 4 kids, but 3 of them were playing mono white, and so we just saw like a whole ton of mono white mirrors. And Naya only has this deck built online, so we're just gonna be playing against this. But I think some of the most important things to identify in the mono white mirrors, this is probably gonna get rebuked. Oh, Scatter. So he didn't have Rebuke, otherwise he would have rebuked the Fragmentize, but he did have Scatter. So good thing... maybe we should have played the Fan Bearer. I was not expecting him to have Essence Scatter here, so this is probably a Brawler. So the mono white mirrors, I think the absolute most important card is Fan Bearer. Being able to tap down their biggest thing is huge. You don't want to like fall into the trap of needing to activate Fan Bearer too early, but like in the mid to late game, Fan Bearer is great. And then, okay, so we get to do this. So Fanbearer, #1 most important card in the mirror. Next most important cards in the mirror are probably your lifelinkers and or your flyers, depending on like what stage of the game you're in. Like if you're in the early point in the game, then like your lifelinkers, if you're able to like hit them with their lifelinkers and they're just trying to hit you back, then you're gonna win that race, right? Or if you're kind of like on your back foot, if you have your lifelinker back to block, if you get good blocks with your lifelinker, then it's like you're negating their attack. So lifelinkers are probably the second most important thing in the aggro mirror. These sometimes it just comes down to like who has the biggest creature. Like if you get an Unwavering Initiate with a Cartouche of Solidarity on it, there aren't very many creatures that can tangle with that in the mono white decks. But that's why Fanbearer is so important. Ooh, okay, it's off to the races. Good thing that's not on a Bastion Inventor. Oh, wow. I don't think I was playing this in my list. So he must have added some spice. Yeah, he's in a tough spot here because of the Fanbearer. Like, if he attacks, then he's gonna lose the race to Sacred Cat. But if he doesn't attack, then I just tap down his creature with Fanbearer and then get in. So he's got like two bad choices to make here. I'm not sure which one is right, honestly, but yeah, we're winning this race here. Oh, are we lagging? We're lagging. Ah. Dang it. Alright, we're back in. Okay. We are back. I'm not sure why my internet is being so fritzy lately. Alright. Yeah. So I think what he needs to do, because he can't race the Sacred Cat's lifelink, is he needs to try to overload the Fanbearer here and like create multiple blockers that'll block Sacred Cat. He might just have Bastion Inventor in his hand, which would do that automatically. He just needs one more land or one more artifact to do it, but he's running Low on life. Oh, there's the land. Let's see if he's got Bastion Inventor. Yeah, this looks like a Bastion Inventor. Bastion Inventor is a house in this format. I'm really glad he doesn't have a goggles in play. Let's draw a land. Rip! Not a land. Although, this does mean that we can attack with the Sacred Cat. Yeah, I think that was the best non-land draw that we could have had there. Might even be better than a land if he blocks here. Yeah, getting that goggles out of play was huge. Like, it kept him a turn behind on the Sweatworks Brawler, kept him a turn behind on the Bastion Inventor, meant that we could trade our Mighty Leap for his Bastion Inventor. Yeah, and we drew that Fragmentize the turn that we cast it too, so very lucky. Very, very lucky. Oh wow, they blink, oh my god. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so that's a land. So, do we want to try to attack here? Or do we want to wait? We could play the compulsory rest and then attack with the Sacred Cat. I think I like that. It's gonna let him gain 2 life, but I think that's fine. Oh, okay, he sacked the Sweatworks Brawler. I thought that was a lightning strike. Ooh, chump blocking here. I don't like that chump block from him. Like, he is pretty far behind, but chump blocking there just kind of puts him even further behind. Because that Aether Swooper was at least keeping my other creatures from attacking. And it might have made a servo. Cobbled Wings, that's a spicy one. Okay, it looks like he's out of gas, so... yeah. Well, that Fragmentize did some work. Let's see. It'd be more mana efficient to embalm the Unwavering Initiate, but I think playing Talkrop Elite just kills him here, because this is going to put him to 7. I guess Unwavering Initiate kills him here anyway. But Talkrop Elite, like, super kills him even if he has a blocker, so I think I just play the Talkrop Elite. Yeah, this mono white deck is very good, and even though this is like one of the only decks in the format that Magma Spray matters against, because this deck is so good, I think it's correct to main deck Magma Spray over Shock in a lot of decks. Double flying. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so if I just move the Hone Kopesh, then he's dead here. You're right, that spray cannot go to the face. I guess I could just tap Aether Swooper and that kills him here. So I'm not saying that spray should be played over Shock in every deck, but I think in a lot of decks it's correct to play spray over Shock. I guess Lightning Strike keeps him alive here, but I'm just gonna go for the kill. Go for the kill. So one thing he could have done is, during his upkeep, he could have tapped Renegade Map to try to thin out the number of lands in his deck. He drew Aether Swooper, so it's not like he drew a land, but that's just one of those things that you can do, like, during your upkeep, crack Renegade Map to reduce your odds of drawing a land. I don't think it would have mattered too much here, but that's just something to keep in mind if you're playing Renegade Map. Alright. So we'll do one more here. There he is. Format Pauper. Deck is M19 control. One turn I had 3 open. I think I did eventually rest his Brawler. Oh. I think he needs a second. And I think he might be changing his deck a little bit. But here is the control deck. Yeah, I guess I could have gotten 2 more damage in there if I used the rest. Using the fan bearer. Yeah, I guess Brawler is kind of the biggest creature in his deck. Whoa, what happened? Why did this close? My computer is acting all wonky today. Yeah, it might have been right to cast Contemporary Arrest instead of activate Fan Bearer. Because then I could have gotten in damage, or I could have gotten 2 more damage in. Oh, I think it's because his Brawler wasn't... His Brawler was not, blocking. Like, his Brawler had attacked me that turn. That's why I didn't cast it. Like, I wanted to save the Compulsory Rest for a turn where I could play it to force through more damage. Because, like, if he played a second creature there that I could have cast Rest on, then I could have tapped the Brawler and then cast Rest on something else and bashed with both. Alright, so here... Here we go. So this is the control deck. Anybody who is familiar with my deck preferences knows I like me a good blue-black deck. So this deck is very close to my own heart. This deck is a beating. It just kind of preys on all the different aggro decks. I think that if this deck becomes popular in the metagame, then stuff like Renegade Freighter is going to get much better. Bastion Inventor is going to go way up in value. Stuff like that. Stuff like Renegade Freighter is only legal for another few months, but I think that's going to be really good against this deck. Murder is really the only clean answer that this deck has to Renegade Freighter. But yeah, I think that this deck is real sweet. So the reason we saw a couple of control decks in the standard Pauper format prior to this, but they didn't really have the consistency of a strong finisher. Like, they kind of had to rely on Striped Riverwinder and Soul of the Rapids to kind of kill your opponent, but you weren't guaranteed to always be up on cards on them because you had to play so many lands. So, like, I think I did a gameplay video, a few months back. I was playing Pirates against Nick was playing blue-red control against me, and there were some games where he just killed all my early guys, but then I won a long game because he hit a land pocket or something, or he couldn't find a finisher in time, and I just squeaked him out. But now that Control has Salvager of Secrets, or the black-red version of this deck has Gitu Chronicler, this card is kind of like your super finisher because Wander in Death creates a loop with Salvager of Secrets. So Salvager of Secrets can get back Wander in Death. Wander in Death can get back Salvager of Secrets plus some other creature that you have. And then you just never run out of cards in the late game. So control decks, the builds of control before, they would sometimes just run out of cards and die to a 2/2. Bricking on lands, or they're playing their 3/2 flyers and they're down on life and trying to race a 2/2. So sometimes the control decks just couldn't put the game away. But now that they have this like super strong late game, um, the control decks are much stronger now, I think. So I'm going to be very surprised if none of the kids pick up this deck in the metagame. I think if any of the kids do pick up this deck for next week's youth standard Pauper tournament that we have, they're going to be doing real well. This deck just kind of eats that mono white deck for breakfast, and that mono white deck has been the most popular deck in the format so far. So I think this is a good metagame call. I'd be curious to see how the metagame shapes up in response to this. Yeah, I think Naya is making a couple changes to his deck. So this is... Here, let me link this deck tech that we did. So there's our deck tech. Since that deck tech, we've added Omen Speaker to the deck. This could also be Dusk Legion Zealot, just having an early creature to kind of be a speed bump. I like having the extra toughness on Omen Speaker, though. The Scry, too, is almost as good as drawing a card. In that deck tech that I just linked, we had Horror of the Broken Lands in that slot, just to have like an extra creature to cycle and to make sure that we have 2 creatures to get back with Wander in Death. But the few games that I've played so far with Omen Speaker have not been an issue. Alright, he is ready. So, format, down here to Pauper, and then M19, blue black control. Alright, boom. Here we go. Alright, this hand is great. This deck is super mono hungry, so I'm probably just going to lead with the desert. Yeah, it's our second black source to make sure we can cast Murder on turn 3 as well. Probably going to end up cycling that, but maybe not. We'll see. Depends on what this Omen Speaker shows us. Ooh, that must be a new addition from him. Didn't see that last game. I guess he wants more cheap artifacts to kind of power out his improvise guys. to go ahead and bottom both of these. Like, the deck is pretty mana hungry, but there's also a lot of lands in the deck. I feel like I can draw some better action. Like, I do want to eventually assemble the Salvager of Secrets Wander in Death combo, so putting 2 lands on the bottom gets me closer to that. You know, we still have more draw spells if we don't naturally draw into more lands, so I think we're doing okay here. Okay, so now I'm going to be in some trouble if he plays a Bastion Inventor here. I think Bastion Inventor is the most important card for this in this matchup for him. Oh, nice. Sweatworks Brawler. Let's draw Essence Scatter. Yeah, he's gotta click these mana symbols when he's casting with Improvise. There we go. Okay. That's a pretty big Sweatworks Brawler. So, I think we're okay if he just plays Sweatworks Brawler here, but we're in some trouble if he has Bastion Inventor. So I could play Murder and just murder the Sweatworks Brawler. But then if he plays Bastion Inventor, we're going to have a 4 or 5 Bastion Inventor that we can't really deal with. I guess if he does that, then we just have to try to Dark Bargain, hit some lands, and then eventually play Striped Riverwinder. I think that's better. The alternative line would have been to play the island, cycle the Riverwinder to try to draw Essence Scatter, but you know, there's only 4 Essence Scatters in the deck, and he might not have Bastion Inventor here. So we're just gonna murder his creature and bash. Not that this 1 damage is gonna matter too much, but we'll see. We're not gonna leave value on the table here. Uh-oh. This looks okay. Oh, no, that's even worse. That is even worse. Okay, that's fine. I'm fine with that. As long as it is not a Bastion Inventor. Hexproof is a silly mechanic. This guy is huge, though. Maybe I want to blink of an eye it? It's either that or cast Dark Bargain. I mean, if this is how he's spending his turn 4... yeah, let's just try to draw a card here. I don't really want to take 4 and then take 2 more. Maybe that wasn't the best, because now he has 2 more energy. He can make more servos, which are going to be relevant, because he has both of those Inventor's Goggles in play. Yeah, that was not a good blink of an eye. Okay, let's see if we can draw land. Looks like we're going to have to take a pretty big hit here. Oh, I think he misclicked. Oh, never mind. Wants to spread out the goggles. It's a good play. But now we might get something with a Moment of Craving. Oh man, he's just going to have a ton of servos. Yeah, that blink of an eye was definitely wrong. Okay, well now we're not as worried about Bastion Inventor because we have the Essence Scatter, but can we afford to keep it up? I don't think we can just cast Dark Bargain here and dig for a land. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold up Essence Scatter. If he attacks, I'm going to shrink one of his guys and then kill it. And then, yeah, all that equipment is pretty good against me. I guess I'm getting punished here for putting those lands on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, so I'm going to take 4, but I'm going to get to kill this guy, and I'm going to gain 2. Dislike that blink of an eye turn. Okay, let's see if this resolves. I guess I should have blocked first, because it's more likely that he has Lightning Strike here instead of Negate, because he for sure is not main decking Negate. I guess he could have Shock here as well. Let's see what he's got. If we lose this Omen Speaker, we're really far behind on the board. We just gotta use our mana here. Okay, so we've run him out of cards, but he's got a bigger board presence than we do. Hopefully, like, as long as he doesn't draw Bastion Inventor, I think we're gonna be okay. Ah, really needed that to come into play untapped. I think we blink of an eye a token here. Or, if he moves one of these equipments over, we can blink of an eye the equipment on the Aether Chaser and then kill it. Let's see. Yeah, so this Artificers deck has a much better matchup against this control deck than Mono White does. Like, Mono White does not have very many tools to fight against control, but this Artificer deck playing a ton of equipment is very good. Oh, okay, so he's just moving in on Aether Chaser here. Maybe we just take the hit and cast Dark Bargain? I think I'm okay taking a hit here. Oh, why is he attacking with that servo? Does he have a shock? Maybe he has a shock. 5/6 first strike. That guy is huge. Huge. Why did he attack with the servo? I'm trying to figure it out. It's probably a shock, but he must have just drawn it because he didn't have a shock last turn. Yeah, you're right, Dane. If he's gonna attack with one servo, he should have attacked with both. Alright, so we're just gonna take a bunch. Aether Chaser. Okay. This is not good. Not good at all. Yeah, Inventor's Goggles is really good against us because he can just like spread out his guys when he goes wide. So we're gonna go to 11 when we Dark Bargain here. Ooh. So I think I want the Desert and the Salvager. I'm gonna play the Salvager and get back Murder. Or maybe I want to play the Salvager and get back Moment of Craving. Okay, never mind. There's a Moment of Craving. Definitely playing that. Oh, okay. So if I play the Salvager, then I'm probably going to have to chump block something. I think I'm fine chump blocking with the Salvager because I want the Salvager in the yard anyway for when I draw a Wander in Death. So I can like chump block his bigger Aether Chaser with Salvager and then get back Murder. Alright, we're F6'd. Might not be worth it to play the Deserts in the deck. Them coming into play tapped. I guess it was only the one last turn that was super relevant so far this game. But we are playing Unquenchable Thirst in the board, which is why I have the Deserts, and then sometimes you want to cycle them if you're like super flooded. But might just not be worth it. Okay, so we're just going to chump here and then go to 8. Let's see, if we draw a land, then we can play Windgrace Acolyte and Moment of Craving. Is he gonna move his equipment? That's not a bad draw. So let's see, if we play Omen Speaker, then we can leave up Murder plus Cycle, or Kicked Blink of an Eye, or Craving plus Blink of an Eye. I like that. Let's see what's on top. We're definitely keeping lands this time. Ooh, double Moment of Craving. That might actually be good. I think at this point, though, the only way we're really losing is if he draws Bastion Inventor, so I kind of want to dig for lands to keep the Wander in Death loop going, or Essence Scatter, so we're going to bottom both of those. Okay, if he attacks with everyone, then we're going to shrink one, we're going to blink of an eye the other one, and then block both of these, and then we're going to take 4 if he attacks with the servos. Okay. Well, let's see. Ooh, okay, he's getting in with the servos too. Why is he leaving one back? Come on, Naya. You gotta attack with all of the servos. If you're gonna attack with any of them, you gotta attack with all of them. Okay. Did he draw like lightning strike or something? Let's see here. So if I block here and Moment of Craving this, and then block here, then I can blink of an eye the other token. So if I block like this, and like this. Maybe I should have just double blocked or blocked the 2 servos and then murdered this guy. I think I like that line better. Because casting the naked blink here feels pretty bad. Like, I'm down to only 3 cards in my hand now. Yeah, and there's 0 chance I can double spell next turn because I cast my 2 cheapest spells. If I had cast Murder, then... Uh-oh, this looks like a Bastion Inventor. That's not good. That's really not good. No. Alright, so we gotta start chump blocking. Yeah, we should have murdered there. So this is a 5/6. It can grow to a 7/9. So even if we gang block it with Riverwinder and the 2 Omen Speakers, I think we need to just... I think we just need to run out the Riverwinder here. Alright, so this has been an interesting game. I've been using all my mana every turn. I have not been able to cycle the Serpent. I think I should have been able to cycle it last turn. Like if I murdered the 4/4 and then cycled the Serpent. Yeah, like I tapped out for Blink of an Eye. I tapped out for Moment of Craving plus Essence Scatter. I tapped out for Dark Bargain. I tapped out for Salvager of Secrets. I tapped out for the Omen Speaker plus Moment of Craving plus Blink of an Eye turn. I tapped out just now. Mm. Oh wow, he's not moving the equipment over. Maybe he clicked through it? Yeah, I think it's definitely... It would have been correct for him to move the equipment over, but since he went to his attack step without it, then... Yeah. Let's start gaining some life. Alright. Well, if we draw Wander in Death, then we are in really good shape. Oh. Alright. Let's make sure this resolves first. And then I think I just throw everything in front of the Bastion Inventor. Yeah. So, when you watch this later, I think the correct line on this board was for you to throw all your equipment on the Bastion Inventor. Because then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you would have... Yeah, you would have at least traded with a bunch more of my stuff. The last turn, if you had put all of your equipment on it, then I would have had to chump block with Omen Speaker. And then this turn, if you have everything on it, then you would have killed it exactly. So if you had Lightning Strike, then you blow me out here. Because I would have been down an Omen Speaker if you equipped all of it last turn and attacked. And then if you had Lightning Strike here, you could have killed one of my guys and then wiped my board with this attack with all your equipment on the Bastion Inventor. we're just going to concede, because I got to get going in a little bit, but I want to at least get game 2 started. Alright, so where you bring in Heartstopper. I don't think I want cancel. Windgrace Acolyte seems kind of meh. Fungal Infection seems okay, because he has Servos and Aether Chaser. Yeah, we'll just cut the Acolytes for the Skittering Heartstoppers. Okay, I'm gonna keep this. It's sort of like a 4-lander. We'll get to hold up Essence Scatter on turn 2. If we don't use it, then we'll cycle. Oh, and he's mulliganing a bunch. Alright. Oh man, who's the beatdown now? Do I leave up my mana here, or do I play my creature? I think I'm gonna play my creature. Ooh, nice. Don't think I want either of these. Like, we kind of need a second blue mana, but I think we need to draw some card draw. That's more important. Alright. Aether Chaser with no equipment is not a big deal. Uh-oh. Okay, well now we just need to leave up Essence Scatter. That was a good draw. Since we drew that, I think I'm just going to play the desert, since we need a second blue source anyway. Alright. That was really good. So we're just going to cast Illumination this turn. So him having the 2 equipment means that he could potentially still be in this game. Depends on what we draw off of the Illumination here. Unfortunately, I am going to have to wrap this up. Before we're able to finish, I gotta get going at 8:30, so we'll try to get in a few more turns just to get a better idea of how this might play out. Okay, there, we drew a finisher, so... Ooh, we drew 2. We just have to draw another land. Maybe we cycle the first one to try to hit the land to cast the second one. unfortunately, we won't get to see how this plays out. I gotta get going. Okay, well, thanks to everyone for sticking around. Anyone who's watching the video, hope this was insightful. Got to see the blue-black control deck in action, the Artificers deck in action. Any of you youth players out there watching this, hope to see you at our Youth Standard Pauper tournament next Sunday. And thanks for stopping by. Oh, and last but not least, here is the plug for... if you want to support Youth Magic here on Oahu, check out our Patreon page, MTG808 Jr. on Patreon. If we hit $400 a month, we will be running 2 scholarship tournaments each school year. So, yeah, check it out. You can check out our YouTube channel. And, yeah, thanks for stopping by. Peace.